y'all? Welcome to my channel. If you are unfamiliar with me, my name is Shea, and if you're a new visitor, thanks for stopping by. If you're a returning visitor, what's poppin'? Thanks for coming by again, and let's go ahead and chat. So one of the most common questions that I've been getting right this very second is regarding the whole getting online and showing interest as a prospective member in the fall 2020 semester. So as you probably heard time and time again, these are unprecedented times. So we have never dealt with something like this as far as people who are currently members in these organizations. We have never dealt with anything of the sort. So there really isn't a way for us to tell you for sure, go ahead and slide into this member's DMs or go ahead and do this, that, and the next to show your interest. It's hard to kind of gauge right now because most campuses are not going to open up for the fall 2020 semester, or if they do, they're going to be a late start. So not only is it going to be hard for you to be able to show your interest, it's also going to be hard on the people that are actually members currently, because if they do have events, they'll be last minute events. If they are able to have events, it'll be something to where it's like really, I don't know, that they'll have a lot of you can do this, you can do that type of things going on. You know, you can only have this many people, it can only be from this time in this location. So I feel like it's gonna be like a lot of just all over the place kind of things. You know, sometimes organizations are able to like work well and flourish last minute. Some of them have calendars that are already set in place. That's typically what they do over the summer, set up calendars, events, you know, figure out when they want to do certain things. But the problem with it is if people are able to go back to campus, it'll be harder because everybody's going to be trying to do the same thing at the same time. And so it's going to be a tighter schedule. It's going to be more condensed, more compact. It's going to definitely be, you know, a lot of rules regarding, you know, meetings and things like that. So I think it's going to be harder for sure if the opportunity does present itself for people to have a line and have events where people can show interest. The thing about this is it's a liability. So just to put it into perspective, you're not only dealing with the members being there, but you're also having to consider the fact that there are prospective members that'll come. You know, you never really know how many people are going to show up to an interest meeting. You can't really put a cap on it because the opportunity is for people to show interest. You can't just say only 10 people you can sign up. Like, it's not, that's really not how that necessarily works. And whoever comes kind of just comes. So that's going to be something that they have to take into consideration. But then they also will have to think about the fact that, you know, we have the prospective members, you have the actual members that are in the organization right now. Then you have to have the graduate advisors and their council board. So it's like, it's a lot of different things that have to go into the situation. So one of the good things about spring 2020 was the fact that some of the lines that were online were actually able to cross. That wasn't the case for everyone, because I want to say a lot of the prospective members from the organization that I'm a member of were not able to cross. They were kind of postponed because it didn't like get to a certain point in time in that particular amount of time. Like, they weren't far enough by the time COVID really made everything shut down, so their processes got shut down too. So the problem with that is, while there were a lot of people that were able to cross, there were probably more people that were not able to complete their process. And the people that did end up completing their process, I really don't know what they did. That's not my business. But I just honestly, as of right this second, I don't foresee there being a line for most organizations in the fall. I don't think that the liability is worth it. So I definitely foresee chapters not taking that risk, not only for the members that are currently members, but also for the people that are prospective members. You have to think about it, like, processes are already long and drawn out as is. So adding other elements as in, you know, social distancing, standing 6 feet apart, wearing masks for such a long time, room situations and accommodations, it's a lot of other factors that will have to go into it that I don't think that people are necessarily ready to deal with right this second. I don't think that people think that that's worth it right now. And so because of that, I don't realistically see there being a line in the fall for pretty much any organization. So with all that being said, this creates a tough situation for people that are prospective members who were graduates in spring 2020 and fall 2020. So spring 2020, it's already happened. It's kind of unclear what's going to happen if these lines weren't able to cross, if they got their paperwork off in time. Like, we really don't know if they're going to be able to like finish at a later time, what is going to happen. My thought process as of right now was that the lines were dropped, but I don't know. I don't work in the corporate offices. I can't tell you what's going on with that. So for those people who are spring 2020, if you haven't gotten the opportunity, definitely think about other options of getting into the organization that you want to. And by other options, I mean just one, but I'm gonna talk about that in a second. If you are a fall 2020 graduate, I think that it's definitely important for you as well to think about what I'm going to talk about in a second. But if you do feel comfortable reaching out to people that are members of the chapter that you were looking to join, if you feel comfortable to do that, do that. The only con with that is they only are able to tell you so much. If you ask them if they're having a line, they might be able to tell you a little something, but chances are they don't have all the answers, because some campuses have decided that they're gonna like have a late start. They might start in September. That does not tell you what's gonna happen from September through December. So they might think about it, but we really just don't know right now. Everything is just too up in the air, and it's no way of being sure because every organization operates on their own brain. So with all that being said, if you are comfortable with speaking with a member or reaching out to a member in the organization and in the chapter that you're looking to join, go ahead, by all means, bravo, do what you gotta do. Also, another opportunity for you to think about is to reach out to the graduate advisor. Now that is kind of less, I don't know. For some reason, it seems like people don't like talking to the graduate advisor. They feel like they're stepping on the toes of the members, and I understand that completely, trust me. You kind of want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward, and for some reason, I feel like that type of thing is not something that's kind of, looked up to. People feel like they're doing something wrong by doing that. But if you want to have actual answers to your questions, definitely recommend reaching out to the graduate advisor, because they are the point of contact. They are the head liaison. They know everything that's going on. They're the teacher for this class. They have all the answers that you may need, and granted, it might not be what you want to hear. They will have the answer that you're looking for. Also, they will probably be easier for you to access. And I say this because the chapter may not be fully operating right now, right? So we're in the summer. Most organizations take the summer kind of off to plan for the semesters. But with us kind of being in the downtime, and not only the downtime, we're in transition times. There's people that recently graduated. You have new people coming into new offices. So people are trying to kind of understand what's going on and adjust and make, movements as necessary. So like if you reach out to them on Instagram, it's a chance that you might not get a response because they might not actually be checking the Instagram as often as they probably could or should. But that graduate advisor might be checking their inbox. So you might get a better response and a faster response from the graduate advisor as opposed to reaching out to just like the chapter. If you want to reach out to a member, cool, do you. There are no right and wrong answers as far as how this part goes, because we've never been here before. I could literally tell you, go do this, that, and the next. I can't give you a playbook on how to deal with showing interest in the area of COVID, because nobody's been here before. We don't know how to respond to this. We don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know how long it's going to be here. We might not actually have lines again until we find a cure. Like the organizations might be like, no, we're not going to do this. I doubt it. But I mean, it's a possibility. Like, we really just don't know what's going to happen. So I can't just sit up here and lie and say, do this, do that, the next. This is going to happen. It's unrealistic. And I'm not about to just give anybody this false sense of hope when I don't know what's going on. I don't want to be that person to try to be like, yes, but we have to also think about other alternatives. So that's really as far as undergrad goes. My biggest recommendation is going to be to look at these graduate chapters. If you are interested and you don't get this opportunity undergrad, just remember that the Greek world, as far as the Divine Nine goes, it does not end after undergrad. There are so many opportunities for you to join different chapters of the organization that you're interested in. well beyond your undergraduate years. Now, people say that it's a difference with joining undergrad and joining grad. I joined undergrad, so I really don't know the ins and outs, and I have not necessarily been a part of a graduate intake process, but there are opportunities for you to do what you got to do to get into organizations in the graduate chapters. And I definitely feel like, if anything, the grad chapter might have a little better opportunity as far as getting approval for having a line. And I'll say this because this is not to say that I'm thinking down on undergrads or in any way, but we have to consider the fact that it's a bigger liability to have a process in the current state with undergrads as opposed to having a process with grads. It's a little easier because you don't have to go through dealing with the school and what the school says and reporting back and doing all this stuff. It's a little more in-house. Granted, they still have to go through corporate and have things approved and stuff like that, but it's like it's not as tedious as it is with doing an undergrad line. So I think that people will have more opportunities, better opportunities, even to cross by showing interest in a graduate chapter. It's still going to be hard. It's still definitely going to be hard because graduate chapters are typically invite. It's more of a who you know, and really showing yourself prior to joining. So that's going to create a whole nother hurdle in itself, but I definitely think that the opportunity will present itself for a graduate line sooner than it would for an undergraduate line, considering everything, all the moving parts, because even with an undergraduate line, you still have to have those graduate members present to serve as a council and make sure that they're doing everything that they need to do. And I don't know. It just seems like it'll be more realistic for them to do a graduate process as opposed to an undergraduate process right now. Now, I might be wrong. I do foresee myself probably doing an update video to this in a few months, because something changed. Hopefully it's that COVID is gone and, things are probably going to get back to normal or our new normal. But I definitely think that there are opportunities for people to kind of really get creative in the way that they show interest, in the way that they present themselves, show support, because we're making adjustments as we go. My chapter, for example, we're having a lot more online events. There's seminars, there's fitness, I want to say for June and July. I don't know if they've done it before, but I know I've seen June and July, I think. My chapter has hosted like fitness things. So one of my sorors would get on there and she'll do like a Zumba type of class. And people are able to comment and things like that. And I personally haven't been like actually looking at the names and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure like the membership chairman might be, looking into that and seeing who's who and what's what. But I'm not sure if like we're necessarily looking for a line, but I'm sure in other situations people are like observing and seeing things like that and using that as a method of seeing who's interested in what. Undergraduate chapters might consider doing the same thing. I don't know. I just think it's a lot of room for creativity. It's gonna be harder because it's like you don't know these people, is reaching out to strangers and all that crazy stuff. But at the same time, it might be a little easier if you're shy or if you don't have time for certain stuff. Like there are a lot of opportunities to create a new normal that I think we're gonna figure out in the near future with Greek life. I don't know if it's gonna necessarily change, but I do think that some stuff will kind of be shifted around and altered a little bit, and we'll figure out kind of how to adjust to this new normal and figure out new ways to do certain things. And it's just gonna be a lot of different things, and I think it's a good opportunity for people to kind of, I guess, adjust to and be accommodating to. But I guess we'll just have to see how that works out. I'm really not sure. We'll just have to see. But I hope this answered any questions anybody may have. I know it's not ideal. None of us have the answers, really. The only person that knows how this is going to end is God, and all we can really do is just, wait and be patient and just be understanding of everything that, is going on. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave me some comments down below. Give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you have not already done so. I would really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.